Today, we're going to talk about a piece of technology that's taken on one of the oldest challenges in heavy industry, just keeping people safe. And now, this isn't about another safety checklist or a new kind of hard hat. We're talking about an advanced AI, a kind of digital guardian built to watch over some of the most hazardous workplaces on the entire planet. Just look at this. This is the world we're talking about. These are mines. These are huge processing plants. Environments that operate on a scale that's hard to even imagine. And with all that immense power comes constant, unavoidable risk. For the people who work here, every single day is a high-stakes balancing act between getting the job done and staying safe. For decades, we've tried to manage all this risk with training, with procedures, with tons of paperwork. But accidents, they still happen. So the first question we have to ask is, why? Why are the old methods just not cutting it anymore? What are the real, persistent problems that even the best safety managers out there struggle with, day in and day out? Well, the source material actually breaks it down into 5 core challenges. Okay, first up, exposure hours. It's simple, right? The longer you work, the more tired you get, and the more likely you are to make a mistake. Second, job skill and certification. Is the person who's about to walk into a restricted area actually qualified and certified to be there? Third, workplace hazards. A job site is a living, breathing thing. An area that's perfectly safe one minute can be a major hazard the next. Fourth, timely action. It's one thing to spot a risk, but how long does it take to actually fix it? And finally, the big one, predicting high-risk areas. Can you figure out where an accident is about to happen instead of just reacting to where one already did? So when you're faced with this giant, tangled web of risks, how do you even begin to build a better safety net? Well, Theta AI's answer is to completely flip the script, to move from just reacting to predicting, using a system that's always watching, always controlling, and most importantly, always learning. The vision here is actually pretty incredible. It's all about creating this proactive, predictive digital guardian. We're talking about an AI that doesn't just look at incident reports after something terrible has already happened. We're talking about one that is constantly watching, analyzing, and flagging risks in real time to stop that incident from ever happening in the first place. And this right here, this is the fundamental shift. Think about it. Traditional safety is reactive. An incident happens, you investigate, you write up a big report, and you cross your fingers and hope it doesn't happen again. This new model is proactive. The AI is analyzing all the data to find the little warning signs, the precursors to an accident, and it alerts you before anyone gets hurt. Okay, that all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But how does it actually work? How do you build an AI that can handle the sheer chaos of a real-world industrial site? Let's break down the tech. So to make this really easy to wrap our heads around, we're going to use a simple framework. We're going to look at how the system sees what's happening on the worksite, how it thinks about all the data it's pulling in, and then finally how it acts on its conclusions. See, think, act. All right, first up, how it sees. The system basically has 2 sets of eyes. It's using standard IP cameras for visual monitoring, checking if workers are wearing the right personal protective equipment or PPE. And then it uses these UHF RFID tags, probably on helmets or badges, so it knows exactly who is in which zone at all times. Now for the cool part, how it thinks. And this is a 2-part answer. Part 1 is something called edge computing. This is absolutely crucial. Instead of sending tons of video footage to some far-off server, there are powerful little computers like an NVIDIA Jetson or a Nano right there on site. They process the video instantly, which means they can make real-time decisions. So if someone walks into a danger zone without permission, a local buzzer can go off immediately, no delay. Then there's part 2 of the thinking, which happens up in the cloud. This is where a really powerful AI, in this case Gemini, takes over. It looks at all the little events coming in from all the edge devices across the entire site. This is the big brain that analyzes patterns, spots brand new hazards it's never seen before, and generates those high-level reports and insights for management. It's like the strategic brain to the edge's tactical reflexes. And this diagram just ties it all together beautifully. If you follow the flow from left to right, you can see the whole story. It starts over here at the edge layer. That's where the cameras and sensors see the worksite and make those split-second decisions. Then that data flows to the central platform where the Gemini AI thinks, analyzing everything. And finally, over on the right, you see the output for the users. That's how the system acts, turning all that data into alerts and actual insights people can use. So, how does this system act on all this info? Well, it's all about getting the right information to the right person right now. That could be an instant physical alert, like a buzzer or flashing light on site. It could be a push notification that pops up on a supervisor's mobile app. Or it could be a detailed analysis on the main health, safety, and environment dashboard for managers to look at trends over time. So we've looked at the technical bits and pieces. Now let's zoom out and see how this all comes together in a day-to-day workflow. How does the system really turn a constant stream of raw data into concrete, life-saving actions? It's really this continuous loop. It all starts with capture and validate. That's the data coming in from the RFID and cameras. Next, the system evaluates that data, checking for things like PPE compliance or known hazards. If it finds an issue, boom, it sends high alerts immediately. From there, it pushes actions to the right people through the app. And finally, all of this gets fed into management review, creating reports that don't just tell you what happened, but actually help predict future risks. So what does a supervisor actually see pop up on their phone? Well, they're not getting spammed with useless data. They're getting the critical stuff. Things like, hey, a worker just entered a zone their certification for is expired. Or someone isn't wearing their safety glasses in a mandatory zone. Or this team has just exceeded its legal work hour limit. This is real, actionable intelligence delivered right into their pocket when it matters most. When you step back and look at all of this together, it becomes really clear that we're looking at something more than just a clever monitoring system. This really could be a glimpse into a whole new future for industrial safety. Because, and this is the real game changer, this isn't a static system. The AI agent is designed to learn. It learns from the safety reports that are fed into it, it learns from the new hazards it detects on its own, and it learns from the patterns it sees over time. It literally gets smarter, constantly refining its understanding of what a truly safe worksite looks like. And that really gets to the heart of the whole philosophy here, which is captured perfectly in this quote from the source material. HSE is continuous improvement. The goal isn't to create some perfect, frozen-in-time state of safety. The goal is to build a system that drives a constant, data-driven cycle of getting better and better every single day. So that leaves us with one last, pretty fascinating question. As this technology keeps evolving, as the AI gets smarter and more integrated into these environments, are we looking at the dawn of the ultimate safety guardian, an AI that can see, think, and act faster and more comprehensively than any human ever could, protecting the people who work in the world's most dangerous jobs? It is a very compelling vision for the future.